Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris the High Guy Jacobs, and today we've got another episode of Who TF Are You, a podcast devoted to Doomsday and all things Doomsday related. And today we've got the one and only EarthyFlames joining us. Thanks so much for sitting across from us. Thanks very much for joining us, Earthy.
I'm happy to be here.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Give us a little bit of intro onto who you are in the community.
Well, most know me as EarthyFlames. I'm the leader of Extreme Lords in Region 41, which is presidential oldie. You know, oldie's the presidential alliance of my region. Mm-hmm. And everybody knows this man. He's cool. He's super cool.
And his name is Oldie.
Yeah. No, his alliance's name Oldie. His name is Moose Man.
Oh, I know Moose Man. Funny enough. Sorry, go ahead.
Very cool guy. Very cool guy.
Yeah, funny enough, I am in a chat group with a whole bunch of players at Genocide and a whole bunch of H&B players and stuff like that, and they just invited Moose Man to join. So he has been upgraded to the, to the chat that we're in, and I've had some ability to chat with him. He's a really nice guy.
He is. Yeah. He's super cool.
And that's from your region, hey?
Yeah, he's our president.
All bow to the president. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
No, we much love to Moose. He's doing a great job.
Yeah. You know? Yeah, no, he's a good guy. Like I said, get a lot of chats to him. Really knowledgeable. Super strong.
He's really helped our region together. You know, as with all older regions, we had that dry spell where people were jumping to the newer regions. When the newer regions first opened, everybody just kind of went crazy and left to go somewhere else to take over new territory.
Yep.
Of course, some it worked out great. For others, not so great. So,
well, when they started opening up, it was like the Wild West all over again, you know?
God, it was like Gold Rush.
Yep. Everybody wanted their own region. And I mean, now it's at a point where everyone can almost have their own region, you know?
Yeah, well, that and the fact that, you know, when you would get there, if the monsters wanted it, you really had to back off, go back home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you go lick your wounds, right?
That's right.
Yep.
But, you know, I've come to know, in almost 4 years, I've come to know a lot of the major names and players.
Hold on. Time out. Do you say 4 years you've been playing this game?
Just about, yes.
Jesus. I think that's probably one of the oldest accounts that I've had the pleasure of speaking to. 1,200 days is what you're telling me. Something around there.
Yes.
Woo! You've seen this game since its infancy. What region did you start with again?
I started in 1. I started in Region 1. And had a friend that migrated to Region 41 when it first opened. And I went, like, before everything opened up, like when Zone 1 was free and everybody just went buck wild and tried to get everything they could get in 41. So I migrated to 41 when 41 was pretty new and nobody had taken anything yet because it was all open.
So how long were you in Region 1 before 41 opened up?
I was in Region 1 for about 2 months.
Huh.
41 opened up.
That's crazy. I think the first region I started in was 196 originally.
Oh, good. Cool. Yeah, so
I'm
it's
only...
a little bit different.
Yeah.
The old regions are peaceful and fun, but then again, we take our aggression out in our events, so...
I mean, you're going to take them out on anywhere. You take them out in Pompeii. You take them out in Island Raid. Take them out in Archipelago Raid for sure.
In our region. Like, our region is totally peaceful. Everybody works really good together. Like, let's say an alliance didn't make the cut for an event.
Yeah.
We send players over, you know, to help them make their quotas and their goals.
So,
whatever.
That actually brings up a good question. Let me ask you a question here about something, because you've been around for a while. So you're going to have a kind of a different understanding here. If you look at what they allow now versus what they allowed before. So before it was the top 5 alliances or something like that within your region, right? That's how many people got to play.
Actually, it was the first 10 at first.
Right. Okay.
It was the top 10 alliances that were allowed to qualify for event.
And then they made it the top 5 afterwards.
But when I first started, we only had Pompeii and Island Raid.
Sure. So, but here's my question. So now that they have only 2,200 alliances allowing to be in, which now means with over 700 regions, that's effectively only 3 alliances per region, but it's based on might. So you know that all the ones in region 1, for example, are going to be much stronger. So you're going to get way more from the earlier regions than the later regions.
Yeah, because I think we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 alliances from our region, that maybe 5 or 6 that go to events.
And that's just from yours. If you look at those other Whaley regions, like if you look at region 1, for example, I mean, you're going to see 7, 8, maybe even 9, right? Because I was looking at it, and you know what, in this last AR, do you know what the lowest alliance had registered with?
No.
2.6 billion might as an alliance.
Yeah, well, there's a lot that cut their might so that they can get into those categories too.
Sure, but here's my point. There's also a ton of alliances that are sitting at 100 billion might, or at 1 billion might, or 1.5 billion might, or even 2 billion might, who aren't even getting to play at all, because the cutoff is at 2.6 billion.
To me, that's insane.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
Yeah, because when we started, we had these huge alliances. Like, oh my God, they just threw us all into a cesspool there. I remember being about 7 million might fighting DHX, Boone, HMB. Sorry, what was the other one? God.
ROK, SSI.
ANC, Rock, as I want to say Asnick or something like that. It was ANSC or something like that.
Yeah, ASNC. ASNC, I think
it
was.
Yeah, and then you had OXO. You had BTW.
You fought all those guys when you were at low might.
Oh God, I was 7 million might. I'm telling you, they squashed me like a bug. Okay, I had to run from Dark Seal. Like, I had to stay behind Gate 2 because there's just no way I could fight those guys. So, but with much respect, I have met and played with a lot of the big guys and girls. Save Me.
Speaking of big
guys,
I
met Save Me.
Go ahead.
I met Save Me years ago. He was actually Sarcy. Sarcy was my number 1 friend in the whole game. I met her when I started the game.
I had a good interview with Sarcy.
So she was really cool.
Yeah, she's an angel. I had a really good conversation with her.
She's great.
Yeah.
She's great.
I've
love Sarcy.
I've met a lot of good people from HMB. I haven't had the chance of meeting anyone yet from like SSI or ROK, much like that. But speaking of the big guys, we just hosted Nom and MP5 and OnlyFans, pardon me, Oli. We hosted those three. Sorry, go ahead.
MP5 was a Mink player at one time, which it was the original presidency alliance of my region in 41.
Yeah, well, he's an
MP5
HMB now.
Was a big deal.
But
I know.
Him and Oli and Nom were just in GROP for this most recent AR that just passed. So we got a chance to play with them and get to kind of see a little bit more, a bit more of a focused gameplay, which was really, really great. And I got an Archipelago video that'll be coming out about it. But it's like we had a 6-hour skirmish that was just some of the best game that I've played in a long time, and like the most in-depth game that I've played. And these guys themselves are just such awesome dudes. Like, they didn't come in expecting anything. They just came in to play and have fun and kind of teach people the game and kind of give people a better view. And, they didn't come in to take over. They were really kind of supportive and letting us, play our own game and just really supportive in that sense. It was totally humbling, I think, to myself, because like, these are some of the top ranked guys, right? These are guys that you see effectively, if I was to make a comparison, playing in the NHL, and I'm just in a beer league in comparison. So it was really nice experience to kind of get him out. So I definitely understand that.
Oh yeah, like, and then I got an Archie event with Coco Bongo of all people. Oh my god, he was a monster.
Yeah, Coco's a big deal, man.
He scored everything. It was us. We had Nom Nom, we had Bane, and we had Coco Bongo.
Yeah.
And Coco Bongo was with the enemy Legion. And like, oh my god, we were hitting him with everything we had. And this guy just did not. It was so crazy, but it was so great. But at the time, I was probably only about 70, 71 million might.
Yeah.
So, I mean, try throwing those at Coco Bongo,
Well,
I mean, he's going to swat them like flies.
Even in a situation now, like, I'm at 120 million and I do have my tier 6 infantry and I'm working on my riders next. But like, even at my 120 million might, like I said, fighting these guys, some of them are 200 million might. There's not much I can do unless I've got someone who's equally 200 million, up front, taking the majority of stuff, allowing me to follow in and not be the main focus. It's a real different dynamic to the game.
Yeah, you definitely need some pro players with you if you want to run the field and do some damage.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna have to be like their little squad guy, their little go-to, hit everybody with them kind of player. You're gonna have to run with them and attack with them and all that stuff. I learned that early. Yeah. I had to learn that early.
Well, it also got to a situation where I was like, I've relocated my riders and my range to only filling rallies and garrisons. So really, I've only got infantry on the field anyways. And I'll join every single rally and every single garrison they need me to, but it's a situation where it's
I'm sorry. I don't understand why everybody gets so upset when they say only infantry in the tower. I'm like, why? Ranged are stronger and they're gonna attack you with infantry, you idiots. I'm like, well, some of these people, like, I love everybody, but when you try to give them advice and you're trying to tell them the difference between the troop types, and if they attack you with a ranged rally, you do not want infantry in your tower.
I mean, it depends on what your garrison is. The only reason why you're typically going to run your infantry garrisons is just because you're going to have a higher... Because like most people, unless you're running chasey, there's really no other options for a rider garrison. So nobody's really been working on a rider garrison. And unless you have Ethan... right? Unless you have Ethan Transcendent and Awaken, there's really no ranged garrisons that you can be really focusing on. But because infantry you can either have Raigoro Riven, you can still use Thunder Riven, especially in my brackets, you can still use Thunder Riven. You can still use Thunder Lewis, right? That's still a decent garrison that'll still work. So there's play within that bracket.
Oh, I have to tell you, my secret is Thunder and Bodella.
As a garrison. So why?
Because if you put Thunder, he fills your hospitals, but if you put him in assist, Bodella deals high damage. Okay? But Thunder heals. So if you put Bodella, you have an awakened Bodella, and you put him in lead, and you put Thunder in assist, Bodilla has really high damage. He has that shield,
Sure.
And it does like damage to multiple players at one time. But Thunder heals Bodilla and your troops as you go. So the damage you actually take on that rally is far less than any other that you're going to.
But the problem is that
It's a very good.
Thunder himself is dealing no damage, and the damage that Bodala deals himself is not comparable to that as what you're getting from a Riven instead, or from what you're getting from a Lewis instead. So I'm looking at it. Plus, if you're having Bodala and Garrison, you're also missing out on his entire attack, defense, and HP buff that he provides, which he only provides when he's not garrisoned.
Right. I'm just saying if you're building him only for Garrison.
I mean,
then
don't get me wrong.
He's a very strong.
You
can do him and Riven together.
Yeah, I've seen him and Riven for sure, and I've seen him running rallies as well, like him and Stella running rallies too. And I've seen some reports that just blow my mind on how they work, because I mean, in theory they shouldn't, but they do. So that's just why I'm sitting here curious as to why. But I guess I can just try him because my Bodala is almost waking himself.
In my experience, because I'm often put in the IGG perfect matching system.
Yeah.
I'm often put with a huge amount of way bigger players.
Oh, for sure. IGG doesn't know how to match for shit.
Because, right. Well, I mean, IGG matching, let's just say it's not ideal. The matching
IG gonna suck ass. It sucks ass. Let's just be clear. It really sucks ass.
Not very, very generous.
It's not very player friendly.
No, it's not. So, for people like me that have been playing a long time but aren't a complete pay-to-play player, we do spin, but we don't spin all the time. Let's say other people who might grow really big and really quickly.
Now that you brought that up, let me ask you here real quick. Let me just interrupt here real quick. And I do want to ask you a quick question that I try to ask everybody. Sometimes I forget, but you've brought it up yourself. How much, if you don't mind me asking, what do you budget to spend on this game? Because especially now, it's no longer really it's no longer a free to play game.
No, not at all. It was so much better when it first started. Like,
yeah, it used to be.
It had options on things you really needed, to buy, and that weren't just all event tied in things, like having to spend to win top commander or win all this other stuff that isn't really needed other than in events.
Yeah, and you could save up for things like with March skins you could save up for and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
But see, I bought 2 squad skins.
Rub that one in. I don't have any. I don't have any squad skins.
Serious, if I could give you one, I would. I have Slap a Hosanna, and I have the dragon.
I told them though if they give me a cannabis skin, I told them if they give me a cannabis skin, I'll have to buy that one.
Right, but the skins are so expensive. Yeah. But it's cheaper to buy the skins outright in the event when you just, go up the chain to buy the skin. Yep. It's cheaper to do it that way than to buy in every event the little tickets.
Yeah.
To actually get the skin.
I've done those
are incredibly hard to get.
Yeah, I've done the calculations.
And you have to pay. But to an actual skin, you only have to pay about $600. Yeah. Whereas if you buy the tickets in every little, hunter event or whatever, it costs thousands.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. That's why I said as long as they don't give me a cannabis one, I'm free for right now.
A skin. Wait till they come out with one you can actually just pay for.
Yeah.
Because it's so
when it comes
much
out.
cheaper. That's right.
So what do you budget for the game for yourself? If you don't mind me asking.
For a while, I was like a couple $100, dollars a month.
Yeah.
Just to, but if they came out with something like a skin or something that I truly wanted, I would go a little extra for that.
Oh, for sure, a little splurge. But like you'd still spend $100. That's about what I put into.
The troop skins.
Yeah.
No, I've overspent on some of those, but I have all the ones that look like Bumblebee.
Oh. I think my overspending part is going to be on the auto gatherer. I have to get the auto gatherer. Freaking resources are so damn important. You know, you kind of have to have them. So I think I'm gonna have to spend on that, and the helicopter, because I've already spent halfway there, so I might as well finish the job. But once I finish those two, I think my spending is going to be done for a little bit. Just because I don't know about you, but like, let me ask you, what's your opinion on the kind of the focus of IGG now? You know, you've been at the game since the beginning, so you've kind of seen it in its earlier age. What do you think they're doing now?
Think that they're doing a whole lot. Like, compared to like when it first started, you had a few war events, it was very balanced, and then you had time off. It was a very life play balanced game.
Yeah.
Whereas now, you pay to play a full-time job.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, it's true. No,
Because
no balance between work and life.
You have events back to back that are crazy. There's really no downtime for the players. Not like it used to be.
Yeah.
So I would say give us a bit more of a break, you know, in between events.
So
give
you
us
don't
a
think
few
the
more
one, you
days
don't
in
think
between
1 week,
events.
you don't think 1 week off a month is enough?
No. I think that they should stretch it out like 3 days off, maybe 4 in between each event.
Well,
Because let's just face it, the majority of play are an older, audience.
Yeah.
And we all have jobs, we all have lives, we all have stuff to do.
Sure.
So most of our days, we're not going to be as active through the week as we would be like on the weekends and stuff.
Yeah.
Because of our work schedules. Which means, guess what?
Yeah.
We're spending more freaking money to catch up.
So I think they kind of addressed that, though, in the fact that Archipelago Raid and Genesis War are only 3 days a week, right? They only last Friday, Saturday, Sunday for all three, for both events. So that if you look at it, you get a week off because you get a week with no events. Sorry, what?
I realize that they shorten the events, but they still play them back to back. And this last round, they snuck an extra minute on us.
Yeah. No, I totally agree that they put out too many, but I kind of look at it because it works on a 4-week schedule. They give you a week off, then you get Archipelago Raid, Island Raid, Archipelago Raid, Genesis War, and then a week off, right? So you get 3 weeks on, 1 week off, but they shorten the Island Raid and the Genesis War on the beginning and the end of the events, so that you've got a couple of days between Archipelago Raid and Genesis War to reheal, and a couple, like 2 days between Island Raid and Archipelago Raid.
But if you're like me and you go ham,
yeah,
and I mean ham,
for events, sure, yeah.
You are not going to be completely healed up for the next one.
Well, for sure. It takes a little bit longer than that. That's why we don't play Genesis War. That's why we typically play Island Raid and Archipelago Raid, and then we don't play Genesis War, because Genesis War, to me, in my opinion, is the worst event that IGG has put into play.
It is the event with the worst rewards.
Well,
most definitely.
It's got the worst rewards. It's got the most restrictive gameplay, because you can only play, now it's only a 1 hour period, not an hour and a half. And you can only select that time. So if you're not active at that time, the entire event goes to shit. Right? And
it's either really, really early or really, really late.
Yeah, and the time that they've chosen, right? For some of us, it's not a problem. Like, don't get me wrong. For me, myself, it's not necessarily a problem, because that's like 8 o'clock in the morning. My kids are already getting ready to go to school, so they'll be walking out the door soon. So theoretically, I can play it, but there's a ton of people who can't. And unfortunately, there's no way to select your time, which is kind of, in my opinion, quite BS. But even if you look throughout that, there are 2 other times to fight, because you have the 2 zombie times that are out there, right? You've got when the zombies drop the super buffs. That's for points as well, so you want to be there for zombies. But that happens at 4 o'clock UTC. and then again at 8 o'clock UTC. Well, that's fucking 10 p.m. and then 2 a.m. I'm not going to be up until then. Are you kidding? I'm old. I'm sleepy. It's like 9:15 rolls around and I'm going, wifey, is it time for bed?
It's like we all have this eternal problem with timing and matchmaking because most of us, let's just be real, most of us are international alliances.
Yeah, it's
we
totally
have
true.
Players from
all over.
So, I mean, you're going to have a portion of your crew show up for each battle.
Yeah.
If you have an international alliance. If you're smart, you build a strong international alliance and you are active 24/7, which is pretty much what I do.
Well, I try to be active 24/7, but my wife gets mad at me.
Oh, no. I'm not. I mean, it's like your R4s and your R3s taking shifts. You see what I'm saying? It's like having three different shifts.
I was just joking.
For international alliance.
Yeah, I was just joking. I know. My wife understands my obsession, so it's fine.
Get off the game. Yeah, we all hear that. Trust me.
My wife actually understands my obsession. She gets it, so it's not so bad. I got a lucky one. I'm good.
Well, that's cool. I have my chocolate lab. That's who lives with me. Thank God I'm not completely. No, I don't have anybody but my dog yelling at me to get off the game. So, other than I'm pretty cool.
So let's jump back here. So you've been in the game a long time. What's your current might at again?
About 114.
114 million, and you're just on the cusp of T6, eh?
Yeah. Which I actually have a gripe with IGG about all the time it takes on technology. I mean, can we do something about that? That's crazy. We're gonna
120 days. What the hell is this? Yeah, no doubt.
I'm sorry, 177 days. I'm at 177 days per technology.
Oh my goodness gracious. So which ones are you unlocking first?
I'm going to do my infantry first.
Yeah. Do you have them all done so you'll be able to do them all in like back to back so you'll be able to unlock infantry, then riders, and ranged? Or are you going to do infantry and then work on riders?
I've got infantry, ranged, riders, and then I'll have to work a little bit on my cards.
So the rest of them are all 15, 15, 15 and ready to go?
No. Just that last medical technology and then the actual T6 technology.
Oh.
And then training.
How far are you in the Devil's Triangle?
I'm getting there, but I'm not there yet.
Because that's the one that's going to kick your nuts, man. That's the one that's going to be the worst part for you.
Oh, no. I've got medical. The last one I have to do is my medical bag. And then my infantry T6 research. And then from there, I go range.
Oh, so you've already got the last three at level 10.
Yeah.
Okay, good. The tier 6 is not too bad. It's only 65 days or 60 days of upgrading for the actual tier 6 itself.
It's felt like a lifetime. I mean, I've been waiting for this for almost 4 years.
Yep.
So to me, it feels like a freaking.
And
so I really would like to see shorten the time on technology.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with how much extra stuff that there is now, because now we have to do beast technology and all that stuff too.
Survivor camps. I mean, cars. I mean, we've got a full-time job to do.
Yeah, for sure.
You get on the game, you can't get off in a few hours like you used to be able to do all your stuff. And just BS and have fun and play around with your crew and stuff. Can't do that no more. No, it's a good 4 hours just to do everything.
Just to get all the stuff done and kind of upgrade everything, make sure you get all your dailies done.
It's not just the dailies. It's and tracking and your survivor camp and your cars and you got to make sure you're getting all these different items that you need for all this different stuff. And I mean, it's very complicated now. And if God forbid you forget, because then you have next round comes around to get it. So,
but hey, at least they gave us an auto radar station.
It did.
Yeah, at least they gave us an auto radar station. Best $5 I ever spent a month.
You use it. If you use it, you still have to kill your zombies for dailies. What the hell is that about?
I know. I figured that, and I was like, that's the biggest ball ache. I still have to go out and kill zombies. But it does get me out killing zombies, so...
Oh, I always kill zombies. My tip for getting at least 15 to 16 days of heal up, 1 minute heal up, like say 3 to 5,000 1 minute heal ups.
Yeah.
Go out every day. Every day you're on your game. Kill at least 200 zombies.
Yeah, it's a lot, but
the stamina,
it takes a lot of stamina. That's the problem.
Do it.
Yeah. I have a ton in stock. I have to start stocking up because this last AR wrecked me.
I'm just saying, when you find yourself in a pinch, okay, and you're in an event, and you're running out of your regular speed ups like crazy, because we do. It's part of it.
Yep. That's a part of the game.
If you concentrate on killing at least 100 or 200 zombies a day, this is what I tell everybody in my alliance. Even if you don't feel like it, get out there and do it. Even if it's only 50 to 100. Get out there and do it daily. If you can do more, great. Save up like anywhere between 300 to 500, maybe even more, 1 minute speed ups. That's at least 13 to 50 days, 15 days knocked off of anything you want to put it on.
Just give me 1 second. I gotta run for 1 quick second. Sorry, I hate to interrupt. Just 1 second. Sorry about that. I just literally had a family emergency. My front door was left wide open. The wife and kids ran out to deal with the goats.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, go figure.
Goats are all cute when they're small, but they are a true pain.
I love goats. They're such an interesting breed.
They are. They're very cute, and they're very talkative when they're small.
Yeah.
Get bigger and they just want to eat everything. They want to eat your car. They want to eat your the trees. They want to eat your shoes, your pants.
Yeah,
doesn't matter to them. They'll chew on
fingers, everything. So, anyway, sorry to get back. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just had to go take care of that. Where were we talking about?
Yeah, so I was saying if you could just go out and kill anywhere from 50, 100 to 200 zombies daily.
Yeah.
Even I know not many want to do it because there's so much other stuff going on in the game. But you won't realize how great it will be to have all of those thousands of minute speed-ups accumulated, because that's however many, I think 3,000 is 10 to 15 days.
It's
3,000.
It's a situation where I look at them, especially zombies. The only problem is I'm spending so much time farming because resources are such an important thing that I'm not necessarily focusing on resources as much.
You don't got to do much of that, and I'm going to tell you why. If you're smart, and you have not just might, but you have strategy, you have all your little players doing all your farming.
Yeah, but I can't. I need them to grow. That's the whole purpose. I can't have them funding my escapades.
When you get bigger, you need less resources unless you need to unlock a
No way.
technology or something, because you don't have any more building to do. So you have a lot of resources you can pass off to the smaller guys.
EarthyFlames.
When you're in trouble.
I need to inform you about something.
Okay.
When you get tier 6, you're going to discover there is no such thing as enough resources. Yes, you don't have to do building anymore. And yes, you might have your technology fully researched and you don't have to do that anymore. But I'm going to break your heart right now. In this last archipelago raid, I spent literally billions of resources. Billions with
I'm
a
sure.
B.
I'm just saying. Most of our farmers, they don't go to events anyway.
Yeah, but
they don't get smashed. They don't
sure.
have to do any of that stuff.
But I can't take the resources. I just can't take the resources from them because I know that they're going to need it too to build. That's why most players have farm accounts, right? That's why I have a farm account.
This is the great thing about having farm accounts too.
Yeah, you have to have a farm account if you're going to be successful in this game now. It's impossible not to.
I have 2.
And if you don't, I don't know what you're doing.
I have another big account somewhere else, but I'm going to keep that secret. So,
that's fine.
Which is bigger than my EarthyFlames account.
That's fine.
By a lot.
So, are you just borrowing it from someone, or did you buy it from someone, or what?
Oh, I built that one too from day one.
So then why is it not your main if it's a bigger account?
Because I have children that play the game that like to go smash. I have adult children. I have my son that's in his 20s.
So your son's
and
got
my
an
daughter
account.
That's in her 20s. And yeah, they both jump on my account, my big account, and they go have fun.
Huh.
So
I've never heard that before. That's
I'm okay with that.
That's an interesting one.
I'm okay with that.
I'm gonna write that down.
You know? They go have fun with it, and they help build it. So what's better than that?
No, that's kind of nice. It's a nice dichotomy, a nice relationship you have. I know that I couldn't leave my kids to do it because they do it wrong.
My kids go out, they go to events, they smash stuff, they get smashed. But you know what they do? They have fun.
Yep.
And they'll put a little bit of money here and there and get a little bit of gold and spend it on things the account needs, and it keeps growing and growing and growing.
Nice. That's nice.
It's better than just setting. It's better than just sitting there without me using it, because right now I'm building the one I'm on.
So I've talked to some people, for example. I've talked to some people, for example, who have met their significant others, their spouses and stuff in the game, or they play with their significant other, they play with their spouse, and there's a couple that have played with their cousins and things like that. But it's not very often you get games between parents and kids, so I appreciate that. That's cool.
Oh, I have adult children. One of them is in my alliance. He has 2 other accounts in my alliance, and then he gets on my main one as well.
Oh, nice.
So, I say main because it's really their main, because after I built it up so high, I kind of just passed it off to them, and they fight over when they want to use it. So.
So it's like instead of some kids fighting over who gets the car, they get to fight over who gets the big account.
Yeah. I need it. We got this. And matching's crazy. Please, can I have it this time? Yeah.
That's so funny.
I don't care. That's what I tell them. I said it's both y'all's. It's both y'all's now. You got to deal with it together.
You guys can fight over it. Yeah, no doubt.
So yeah, that's what I tell them. I mean, it's pretty well. It's up there too. It's I think it's close to 800 million right now.
Well, now you got me asking questions. I mean, you can't just be walking around with an 800 million mite under your belt with no info about it.
No, I just keep that one hidden. Like, that's just for the kids.
All right.
That one I was crazy maniac. I spent a lot of money at first.
Yeah. No,
I
we all
spent
do.
a lot of money.
That's how it all
I
comes
really
in.
like this was the first game that I felt like was pretty cool, because I'm not like into all the zombie games per se. I like zombie stuff,
Yep.
but I wasn't into a lot of the other zombie games because let's just face it. When I downloaded this game, I seen the original footage of the game that everybody's seen. Was super cool. Got on the game and it was strategy war game. Which, when you think of that, it's like, what the fuck? Because when you see the ad and you see the game, it's like, what the fuck?
It's a little different. Yeah, it's a little
it's
different. It's not the same.
If you see if you've seen the original ad for Doomsday, like the original one,
Yep.
okay? It looked nothing like the game.
Nope. Not at all. Got me too.
It was like one of the it was like one of those, if you think Goddess Wars, you know that game Goddess Wars?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Chose Wars or what it was, but it had the Goddess War. They run around and they fight different things, and there's other players, and you see them passing you and all that stuff, but you don't really interact with them. You go on your missions and you do your things,
Yeah.
and you fight these big things, and sometimes you have other players that will join in and battle that enemy.
Right.
And that's what the game like from the ad.
It wasn't even close to what you expected. Bastards!
Ew, it didn't look. It had nothing to do with that ad. But
Bastards.
that ad is the original reason I downloaded Doomsday.
Yeah.
So when I got to playing Doomsday, I was disappointed because the game was not like Goddess of Chose. It was totally different. It was one of those games like this is going to be boring because everything's going to take forever. Because I've done these kind of games before.
Sure.
But different.
So if I may interrupt you for a second.
That.
I was just gonna say sorry to interrupt for a second. If that's what brought you to the game originally, what was it that would bring you back? Because personally, I mean, and I've had this experience before. When you get burned by the advertisement, it's like I'm more often not gonna try the game. I played Top War. I played was it Return of Evany or Evany's Return or something like that. Like I played those ones too. And it's like as soon as the ad was different. Pardon?
I won't lie to you. As soon as I seen the game was different, I was very tempted to delete it.
So what was it that brought you back to the game, and like what kept you here?
I said, you know what? Let me not do that. I went through all this time to install this game, so let's really just check it out.
Let's just give it a shot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That wasn't anything like the actual game.
No.
And the ads nowadays, they're not either.
No, of course not.
Surprise! So yeah, I was disappointed, but I said, hey, let me try something new. Just stick with it for a little while. Then I made a bunch of great friends, and I started growing a little bit. It became a little fun. We had a little bit of scuffles. At first, it wasn't that fun. When I first went to 41, there was an alliance called PPHR. They were extreme bullies, and they were from a different country. Say they were Korean. But I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But they were extreme bullies. They came down and they, like, killed us little people constantly.
Oh, no.
Constantly.
I hate bullies.
Like, they made the game... The game sucked.
Yeah.
At that point. For me, it sucked. And my friend, who was the leader of Extreme, he was like, I have to go away for a long time, and I don't trust anybody else enough to keep this alliance. So I'm handing it to you. When I got Extreme, I was literally less than 2 million might.
Oh, boy. Trying to scrubble up from the bottom, yeah. I guess.
Oh, hun. Yeah. I scraped my way from the bottom to the top.
No doubt. So I've been just
It
looking
is
at the time
food.
here. I've been looking at the time here. We're getting close to 1 hour, which is surprising to me because, like I said, these conversations they typically just kind of disappear for me in that sense, because there's always so much things to talk about, especially when it comes to this game. But like we've hit on a lot of the same topics that always seem to come out. Talking about how the game has put out a lot of content, the schedule is a little messed up, right? Like it's really, really kind of overbearing. But I do want to ask you a question that I ask everybody to kind of get this back on the track here. For example, if you were to have the developer's ear for, say, the next 30 seconds or whatever, what would you want to tell them as a way to kind of give them advice on to how to make this game kind of sustainable in the long term? What would you like to say to the developers themselves?
Give them an advantage over other games like this, which I've already run this past them, but I don't know. I don't get any response on this. But if they could give us like a share item place in our Alliance store, that way we can help our members. The items that we do not need that just sit in our bag forever.
Like
we could actually just hand them over to another Alliance.
Yeah, like the what are they called? The construction loot boxes for the watch out tower or lookout tower.
Or even
the victory.
Even if they could just create an extra Alliance store where we can actually put items, many items a day that we don't need that are free for our other just pick up.
That's actually a really good idea. Having like a marketplace, Even if there's a tax on it, like what they do when they do resource transfer.
Right.
Even if they had a tax on it, I'd be okay with that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, because you're helping your members and you're downsizing stuff in your bag that you don't need anymore that's just sitting there taking up tons of space. Well, there's several things in my bag that I don't need anymore, like the little purple puzzle pieces for purple characters and stuff like that. I've got all mine maxed out, so I don't need any of that stuff. I don't need
do you
the
trade
badges
that
anymore.
Do you trade that in during the trade-in event?
I don't need.
Because there's
sometimes
the trade-in event that comes through.
I would much rather give it to a member in my Alliance that needs it,
right,
than to trade it in for a few measly. Let's just face it, because your members' growth is your Alliance growth, which means it's your points and rank. So people that grow will enjoy the game better. They will have fun playing. They will not feel like it's impossible to grow. I mean,
sure, but
let's just face it. If you don't spend money,
if you don't spend money, you can't
on
grow.
This game, you can't get anywhere.
Nope, you can't. It's like I mentioned. This is no longer a free to play game. It's a pay to win or a pay to play game.
So my advice for the developers would be, please bring enjoyment back to the game for the smaller players, other than what you've already done, which is great. The beasts and the survivors really help the smaller members maintain a little bit of something on the battlefield. But let's just face it, if you're 20 million might, you are not going up against a 200 might guy.
I mean, you wouldn't do that anyways. You shouldn't.
No, but they do because they want to be part of the. And let's just face it, it isn't great. It never has been, and it never. But we love the game, so we do what we can.
We complain while we can. I mean, we do what we can.
Create a share item for alliances to share what they don't need with their members. Please, ID.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. Like I said, that would be. Sorry, go ahead.
Because other games, they have similar stuff, and it helps them enjoy the game. It makes them feel like they're moving at a more regular pace, and they play longer, and they're more able to they might actually spend a little bit, like the gold or whatever, or buy stuff.
Well,
it makes them enjoy the game.
That's what they did with the gold vault by adding the gold vault, which arguably is probably one of the best things that they've done, bar none, because it's
I really love that idea. I praise whoever did that. Thank you for that idea and that creation. We all enjoy that.
Yeah.
I'm just simply asking to help us help our members, that
just
are
a little bit more
new to the game, that want to be more active alliances.
Yep.
Like, there are a lot of new regions, yes, but they have a lot of dead alliances.
100%, and there's a lot of dead players.
Yes, I'm constantly getting people from new regions that are telling me, nobody talks in my alliance. We don't know how to play. This and this and that. We don't know what's going on. Can we come to your alliance? Because you guys, are you active? Do you talk to, do you help, players get to know the game and stuff? And I'm like, absolutely, I have no problem with that. But I'm just saying, it seems like a lot of people, even in the newer regions, you're going to get a lot more people deleting the game and just leaving empty shelters all over the place because they're not enjoying the game.
Even in older regions. I get it in mine, and I'm in region 420, and even in mine, like, I can look all throughout stage 1 and stage 2 and count hundreds of shelters that probably haven't logged in months, right? Like, just never logged in. They logged in once, did some upgrading, and then never logged in again. And the game itself doesn't address that. And I think that's a huge problem from the developers because it does nothing except crowd the arenas, crowd the servers, and make everything just a little bit laggier in the process.
Another idea.
Yeah.
Instead of back-to-back events, give us one kind of like Island Raid, but like with a massive zombie outbreak that you gotta actually utilize the other alliances to dominate.
Some kind of PvE
it's a zombie game. Yeah, it's a zombie game. Give us huge boss zombies we all gotta fight,
Yeah.
Give us zombie.
There's actually,
like, give us more zombies.
Yeah.
Not just the not the little prequel games like Beast Invasion, how you gotta fight those zombies and stuff. Not like that. I mean an all-out Archie zombie raid.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like having, and they had that before.
Made it.
They had that before when they created that like little blobby thing that's on the map. They had that same idea, this like PvE target that they had.
The Sprout. Yeah, that's what it's called, the Sprout Overlord.
Yeah, and then they did it like once or twice, and then they've never done it again. So it's like, what are they doing?
Like, cause something kind of like that, but on a different scale. Like, okay, let's say you have a specific zombie event that you don't have to fight other players, but you have to utilize certain members of certain alliances to help you beat boss zombies for rewards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something
or allow us to utilize the zombie hunting heroes, because right now, even to hunt zombies, you just send out your main line. You know what I mean? Like, have more of a need to have your zombie hunters, instead of it just being about war.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of having like a city 8 in the middle.
Yeah.
Having like this huge.
Yeah. Have a zombie that walks around the whole map, just causing havoc.
Right. And when it's time to fight them, you have to utilize your people that you're paired with to kill it off.
Yeah, exactly. Have some kind of rally, some kind of team swarming event or something like that. It would be great.
Yeah, and have stuff like little rewards and buffs and stuff like that while you're killing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. Some kind of PvE stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think there's more avenues that they have to play with.
We do player-to-player war all the time. Yeah. Give us something new. Give us something like a huge City 8, but a big zombie in the middle of the map.
Yeah,
we have to utilize our Legion paired with to just disintegrate it.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
In that process, it can drop rewards, like kind of like what's in Bounty, the heal chests, the buffs, you know what I'm saying? The run faster stuff.
Yeah.
You can take those kind of that drop that kind of stuff while you're hitting it.
That would be better than just the war stuff that we have.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
would give us an alternative type of event that wouldn't wear us out on the, on the person versus person event.
You know what I think they should also address, and maybe this is just me being a little bit of a cynic. I think they need to address the cost of healing, and I think they need to address the speed at which troops are created. Because we should be able to create troops faster so we can have bigger armies, and it shouldn't literally cost billions of resources to play an event. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be insurmountable with the cost of materials that you need in order to play the event. It should be manageable in that sense as well. So I definitely think they're
I
dropping the
agree
ball
with
there.
that. The troops, like say, to switch T5 to T6 only takes 6 hours.
Yes, but it takes an hour.
For
It takes a whole day. What is it? One day and 16 hours, I think, for me.
No, for me to train T5s, it takes a day and 24 hours.
So for me to train tier 6, I'd have to look. I don't remember exactly, but I think it's like a day and 16 hours or something like that with training speed ups and stuff. Like with my
Well, I
tech.
have all my buildings upgraded. And with T5, it takes me a day and 24 hours to train. So I say if it only takes 6 hours to convert troops from one type to the next, at least take that time down to maybe 12 hours per train.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
mean, it obviously depends
That's
on what you're upgrading, but yeah, there's definitely a lost cause there in my opinion.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's and to buff them up, good God, if you buff your troops up, it could go all the way up to 10, 15 days. It's crazy.
No,
And the amount,
when you do a 50,000, it's like 30 days.
that's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. A month for 50,000 troops, and I can go out in a month. Like in this last month, I've killed 200,000 troops, like dead 200,000 troops, and I'm like,
But
ugh.
I say it's so important to get out there and kill them zombies daily
Yeah,
because,
Jesus.
anything that you're doing, take 15 days off of
Yeah, but
if
yeah,
you get out there and kill zombies daily.
it's so much. I don't even want to look at the repair bill, but I'll get it back up. It just takes some time. We didn't take so much time. So, anyways, let's bring it
It's
back
so
here. We are just past the 1 hour mark in this wonderful conversation. We have dipped into a lot to do with the game itself. Obviously, what brought you back, what brought you in. We talked a little bit about some of the people that you know, how long you've been around. In reality, what I'd like to do before we wrap up here is I do want to give you one last opportunity to kind of shout out any of your friends or alliance mates or friend alliances or things like that you want to give a quick shout out to, just so that they can hear their name on YouTube, because I know a lot of people like that. So feel free to shout out anyone in specific. This is now your time to do so.
shout out to all my great alliance members. I mean, they really know how to make a team rock. Shout out to Moose Man. Shout out to Save Me. Shout out to Hans. Shout out to Sarcy. All my friends at HMB. Potty Mouth. Love my potty mouth. Nom Nom. Armor Red. And all my friends in Doomsday. I hope we celebrate many more years. And I can't wait to see if this game gets a little bit more creative and a less pay to play.
Yeah.
So, I love all. Thank you, Hi Guy, for having me on. It's been a pleasure. Anytime you need me, you're in my stuff now. So you just hit
Yeah.
me up.
I
And
appreciate you coming on. When it comes to the podcast itself, I think one of the hardest things for people to kind of do is just take the risk or take the jump, because they think it's something kind of like, serious and kind of, but I like to be quite informal. I like to just have a good time with it. And like I mentioned, I like to have the ADHD do its thing. So it really kind of, I want to say thanks just for taking the chance to come out here and voice your opinion with me, spend some time kind of introducing yourself to the community a little bit better, and at least putting a voice to the name. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you coming on the podcast for that.
I really enjoy Doomsday. I've been playing it long enough, but it's
Yeah.
changed a lot, and I've seen a lot of good people leave the game because of their differences. But
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah.
to see people with a long time leave. But I've seen a lot of major players leave.
It's
And in
it
the
goes through ebbs
future,
and flows, right? Ups and downs.
yes, and in the future, I would like to say, I hope we all have many, many, many more good days together. And
Yeah,
I wish everybody the best and keep rocking them events.
you know it. So thanks very much for tuning in, everybody. If you liked what you heard, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share the channel with your friends. We're getting real close to that 2,000 subs. I don't know what I'm going to start doing yet when we start to hit these goals, but I feel like I should start celebrating somehow because truth be told, this has been a whirlwind experience. We are less than a year into doing this type of stuff, and we have amassed a pretty decent recognizable moniker and things like that. So I really want to put a shout out to the entire community for being welcoming and accepting of me, and obviously of everything that we've been doing here at the podcast at Who TFRU and at the High Guy 420 YouTube. So thanks very much for your support. And again, hit that like button, fill out the notification bell so you get any new information when we ever drop new videos, which we do typically weekly, several times a week, trying to keep the community informed on what the goings are. Other than that, folks, love, peace, chicken grease, and until next time, stay lifted.